Just like it's been on this show the last 2 weeks, no Dunne, no problem. The Owls rally without Jeremiah Williams and Damian Dunne to stun the conference's top team.
Yes, Sage got the tie and Ty got the win. We'll break it down next. Courts in session.
Back in the TV3 studio, and it feels so good. Welcome into our latest edition of Courts in Session. You've seen plenty of my co-anchor Sage Hurley, but in case you forgot about me, I'm Ray Dunne.
I wasn't sure if we'd ever see you again, but now that you're here, let's get started with the men's team and its short-handed upset win against SMU on Wednesday night that had the Liacouras Center on its feet, or at least the fans inside were.
It was a late-night treat for a short-handed Temple team. A 9 o'clock tip-off at the Liacouras Center. Owls without both Damian Dunne and Jeremiah Williams. SMU without leading scorer Kendrick Davis. The Mustangs looked to Marcus Weathers, who slammed home that bucket for scoring guidance in Davis's absence. He finished with 15. SMU leading by as many as 7 in the final 4 minutes, but the Owls come storming back. Ty Strickland, who had a career night, gives Temple its first lead of the second half with less than a minute to go. A furious 22-8 run gives the Owls a huge 64-57 win over SMU.
Their offense was, a little discombobulated at times, but they have great guys that step up too. I mean, Vanderbilt, the two Weathers brothers, and one of them killed us in the last game, so it just worked in our favor tonight. We were playing defense like dogs tonight. No, I mean, I believe anybody can step up. Zach has stepped up, Chop has stepped up, Nick has stepped up. It was just my turn tonight.
What I'm impressed about the most is I got so many young guys out there, and all of our games have been, close, coming down the stretch. And those guys have been just playing with great poise and understanding late in games. Again, they don't do everything right, but they're responding to these situations, and I'm proud of them.
4 of the Owls' 5 starters in November didn't even play against the Mustangs. But sophomore Ty Strickland didn't miss a beat. Instead, he scored a career high of 27 points.
He did it early on through pure aggression, fighting through contact to finish at the rim and willing the Owls' offense through some rough stretches. Late in the game, Strickland was locked in late from the free throw line, knocking in all 8 shots from the charity stripe.
Now let's take a look back. Over the weekend, the men visited New Orleans, the hometown of the second coolest Sage on campus, and I'm talking Tolbert. But it was freshman Zach Hicks who led the Owls in scoring. He hit 5 treys on the day, 21 points overall, and pulled down 7 rebounds. But it just was not enough to keep the Owls above water. The Green Wave crashed down on Temple in overtime, 92-83. And as for the women, Coach Tanya Cardoza was feeling the love this Valentine's weekend. The team's 73-58 win over Tulsa marked her 250th career victory.
A milestone win for Coach and a milestone week for a pair of Owls. Mia Davis, who could be lining herself up for AAC Player of the Year, was named the conference's honor roll for her performance last week. She averaged 17.5 points per game over Temple's 2 games, finding herself on the honor roll for the second time this month.
Did you say could be? Mark my words. Davis will be the AAC Player of the Year. But for now, let's head to the men's side. It was a big weekend for the freshman from Camden Catholic. Hicks went 7 of 13 in field goals during his 27 minutes of play. In layman's terms, the kick and shoot. And it's earned him Big 5 honor roll this week.
While Davis and Hicks have starred, we can't talk about awards without mentioning Anaya Gordine. For more on that, we turn to Owl Sports Update's Hayden Bandel, who is standing by at the studio set. Hi, Hayden.
Thanks, Ray. Anaya Gordine has been on a tear this season. This week, she was announced as the AAC Freshman of the Week for the 2nd consecutive week and 5th time overall. The 5'9" guard has led the team in assists in 11 of its last 12 games, and she's starting to be a contributing factor on the rest of this stat sheet, posting her first 2 triple-doubles of the season this month. She's also been a big contributor on the defensive end, averaging 2 steals per contest. However, there are still some improvements Gordine to make to her game. She is averaging nearly 4 turnovers a game. Now, that's not too bad for a true freshman, but if she wants to make a leap to the next level, that's a part of her game that she will want to improve on. Gordine is definitely someone to keep an eye on for the long run, and Temple fans should look forward to see what she has in store. Ray and Sage, back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Hayden. It's been a while since I've been on the desk, and as a way to catch me up to speed, let's take a look at 2 highlights from the past 2 weeks. First, I brought you back a gift from the game against ECU. Nick Jourdain with the putback one-handed slam that put the Owls up 10. Take a look at it right now. He flushes it and takes a quick look to his bench off the Damian Dunne miss. All smiles and some great stuff from North Carolina.
I know you're partial to that ECU game, but Wednesday's win against SMU was easily one of the most exciting to watch so far this entire season, especially those final 2 minutes. The Owls cut the Mustangs' lead to 3. Then take a look at what happened next. Sage Tolbert rebounds it, and look at this. That's an and one, game-tying and one. This 3-point play was a turning point for the Owls. The Liacouras Center got loud, and then Strickland went on a 6-point run, sealing the game for the Owls. Now March is quickly approaching, so let's talk AAC standings. On the women's side, the Owls sit at number 4 behind Tulane and Florida acronyms. UCF just isn't budging from first. They're 11-1 in the conference, 18-3 overall. The Owls have a tough matchup against them on the horizon, but it won't be the last we see of UCF. I predict they'll be seeded 7 or 8 overall in the NCAA tournament.
Temple's remaining schedule is loaded with UCF, as you have mentioned, on Saturday, and then dates with Houston, Tulane, and a pair against SMU. All of those teams, except for Houston, are at the top of the conference. Despite all of that, the Owls are in a decent spot to get that first round bye in the AAC tournament, which is given to the top 5 seeds. To the men's side, the Owls are engaged in a battle for that 5th seed and the final bye in the AAC tournament. Their losses to Tulane and USF loom large, as does Memphis's 6-game conference winning streak. Those 2 things have combined to lead to a clear top 4 teams in the standings.
Yes, there's a clear top 4, but after Wednesday's win, Temple sits right here in that coveted number 5 spot, and if they can stay there, they'll get that first round bye. But their remaining schedule is far from a walk in the park. The Owls have 3 of the top 4 teams in their upcoming slate. And as for the women, the Owls will have a chance to avenge their late January loss to that first in conference foe, UCF, on Saturday at McGonigal Hall. And the rumors has it some Temple women's basketball greats will be in the stands for this one. Then next Wednesday, like Ray said, the Owls will head to the Lone Star State to take on a less daunting Mustangs team.
From the hardwood to the studio, here's what's coming up for Owl Sports Update. Monday through Friday, it's constant content. Next up is Monday's Sports Brief, breaking down this weekend in Temple sports. Stay tuned to all of our work on social media at Owl Sports Update. You know where to find us Fridays at noon on all social platforms. For today, however, that's all we have. Only one show stands between us and the monumental month of March.
Bring on the madness. For Ray Dunne, I'm Sage Hurley. This court is adjourned.